everyone and welcome back to Raining Cake. So today's video was actually sparked on by an article I read a few weeks back about careers, and it said in there something along the lines of someone finds their true career at the age of 39. So it takes a number of years and a number of experiences to get to that point at the age of 39 to have the career that you've always wanted, or the one that you've kind of loved the most, based on surveys and other people, just based on like an amount of stats that they had. So that sort of sparked me to film this kind of storytime video, because I've done a few storytime videos before and I just thought it would be nice to talk about my career story, like what age I started working and what jobs I had, and just why I went into the roles that I went into and what I'm doing currently now, and whether it is what I'm going to do for the future, that type of thing. So I've got myself a cup of toffee nut latte, and if you haven't tried the toffee nut latte from Nescafe, you need to go and try it now, because it's so nice. It's just like so frothy, so creamy, and it's got that really nice toffee nut taste. So I've got my coffee ready and ready to talk. I'm trying to not make this video as long as all the others, because I realised that all the others were quite long, so I'm going to try and keep it under 10 minutes. So yeah, let's just talk about my working career life. So I started my working life at the age of 15. I was working part-time for my sister-in-law's sister's restaurant, so I went there every Saturday for a few hours just to sort of get started on working, earning my own money, getting a little pocket money on the side, because I used to rely on my dad giving me pocket money. My dad used to give me like £20 every week, so I was really happy with that. And then my dad actually gave me pocket money up until the age that I finished uni, which was really cute, I thought, because when you start uni, you're sort of like, oh yeah, you're kind of independent now and you don't really need pocket money, but my dad still gave me pocket money, which was really nice of him. So yes, I started working at 15 at this restaurant, just serving like soft drinks and stuff like that to the customers. It was a really nice job. We had great fun with the people working there. There was only 2 of us behind the bar and the rest were just serving food. So I was at sixth form at the time, and I got my rota through on the second term, I believe. I think it was around the second term. And when I got my rota through, I had a lot of spare time during the week, so I thought, why not go and find another job? So I went and looked for another part-time job just in a local shopping centre. I went there, gave my CVs out, looked around, and then I started working for a company called Crisp Clothing. I remember going in for the interview sort of all smartly dressed and stuff like that, and then all she did was go, oh, how long will it take you to get to work? Didn't even ask me about my experience or anything with sales or with retail, just went, how long will it take to get to work, what days you can do. And I was like, I could do this day, and then this day. And they were like, right, cool, come and start tomorrow and we'll give you that job. And I was like, oh, okay, so that was easy. So that was just like a really easy interview process. So I worked 2 days during the week at Crisp Clothing, and then I also worked the Saturday at the restaurant. So I actually worked 2 jobs on a Saturday. So I did sort of like the morning at the clothing shop, and then I did a Saturday evening at the restaurant. I worked 2 jobs for a good 6 months, and then it got a bit too much because I then got my 3rd term of my rota, and I had a lot of work, like schoolwork and stuff, so I couldn't really deal with having the 2 jobs at the same time. So I left Crisp, and then I still carried on working at the restaurant on a Saturday all the way up until I started uni. So when I started uni, I'm pretty sure, I carried on working at a restaurant every Saturday when I started uni. So I did 2 years of uni, and then when I left uni, I then got a full-time job at a company called Grange City Hotel. So Grange City Hotel is a hotel in Tower Bridge, and I studied beauty therapy and health studies, and I went on and got a beauty therapist job at that spa, which was great. I loved it. It was my first job. The interview process, I don't really remember how it went, but I do remember going in. I do remember having 2 interviews and then a trial, because as a beauty therapist you needed to show them what like your skill with what you could do and whatnot. So I remember doing a wax, and then also remember doing a nail paint. So I did that, and then they were happy with that, and then they called me back for an interview, just like a face-to-face with the manager, and then I got the job. And then I remember them telling me like the pay process for that company was that you get paid by check, and there was a Barclays bank nearby that you could go and cash out the check, and then you could have the cash basically. So we got paid every 2 weeks there, and that was great. It was easy to travel into Towerbridge from where I was living at the time, and I believe I was there from, so when I finished uni, sorry about that noise, when I finished uni it was around maybe October time, and then I don't think I got a job until maybe Christmas or the New Year, and then I did 10 months at the spa. So I was there from like 2006 all the way up until 2000, yeah, end of 2006. Yes, it was the end of 2006. So I did 10 months at the spa, had a great time, met loads of nice people, and the hotel itself is lovely. But I left thinking whether I wanted to pursue my career in beauty therapy. I wasn't sure whether that was what I was going to do. And do you know what? In this day and age, it's very normal to not do the job that you studied at uni. So I left in October of that year, and then I think I then was jobless for a month, still living at home, and then I went to an agency which was called Manpower, I think, again near my local shopping centre, and they had a temp job, Christmas temp jobs, for a company called Net-a-Porter. And if you know Net-a-Porter, if you like luxury shopping and whatnot, then you'll know where that place is. So I got a job as a packer, so I was packing orders for customers in their distribution centre in South East, and then yeah, I went in as a temp, sort of like November time, because it was like Christmas temps. I went in with 2 other people, and they left like literally a week after working there, so I was still there, I was still packing orders. And then in February 2007, they asked me if I wanted a permanent job, and I was like, yes, of course. I loved working there. I loved working in packing team. It was so like just kind of like a simple, easy role, and you just go in, and I worked like the morning shift, so I did 6:30, 2:30, and yeah, it was just a really simple, straightforward job to have. So I did that for 6 months, and then in July, I believe it was it, no, 5 months maybe, there was a role available for the senior kind of packer role that gives you just a bit more responsibility and gives you a bit more management skills. So I applied for that, and it was just between me and this other girl, and then I got the job. So I became a senior packer slash supervisor at that point. So I was that role kind of just changed over years into different titles. So it became from senior distribution assistant to like supervisor to then first line manager, that type of thing. So I was a first line manager at the end, up until I did it for like a good 3-4 years. I was like the first line manager of the packing area of Net-a-Porter. I then went for a role in the training department, so I then became a training coordinator. So within that role, you would just train people and make sure that everyone was doing the thing correctly and they were compliant and whatnot, and then just a lot of training throughout all those years. I then had a team of trainers. We was a team of like 13, so there was me as a supervisor, I had a manager, and then I had like 12-13 trainers under me, and then they would just be in different teams, and they would just go out and train whatnot and do their thing and just improve people, develop people. So that do you know what, that role really built me as a person, built my confidence, and I loved it. It was like a really good role to like meet people, work with people, and just see how people improve, and you come across so many different like types of people, or like walks of life and whatnot, and just different experiences in that role. So that role took me all the way from 2007 to, when did I leave? I left last year, so 2018 March. So yeah, I mean, I was there for like a good 11 years, so it was a long time to have in a role, for me anyway, and I was super grateful to have the experiences that I had there. It was yeah, it just got to the point at the end where I wasn't getting any more direction. A lot of things happened along the way for the team, and it was just got to a point where I just wasn't happy anymore there, and I wanted to do something a bit more for myself. So the manager that I had at Net-a-Porter left to go to the company that I am now, which I actually work for ASOS, so another fashion company. So he left and went to ASOS, and then a few months after he left, he said he had a role at ASOS that he thinks would be suitable for me. So again, at that point, I was like ready to go. I was ready to get out and just applying for all jobs under the sun anyway. And I went for a few interviews here and there, but none of it, A, was enough pay for me, and B, did I really actually want to go into that role? So when Steve contacted me and said, I've got this role for you, would you like to go for it? I was like, yep, I do. And he said the only thing was it was a contractor's role. I've never been a contractor. I don't know what it is to do with contractors. We always have permanent roles. And I was like, but if I don't take this opportunity now, I'm never going to get the opportunity again. So with the risk in mind, I took that role. And yeah, and then now I am basically working for ASOS, and I've been there. I was a contractor from April last year until November that same year. So I had a 6-month contract, and then I became permanent in November, which was the best news I could have ever hoped for, because as a contractor, or never like first time contractor, or as a permanent worker for most companies, I feared not getting anything after. I mean, I guess if you're working freelance or you're a contractor, like you do it often, then you'll know that you've only just contracted to do one role. But coming from all permanent roles into a contracting role was kind of risky, and yeah, but it all paid off, and I'm super grateful for that opportunity that I got from Steve. He literally just pulled me out of the rut that I was in and put me into this new role, which I'm so happy with at the moment, and I believe I'll continue to be happy for quite a while, hopefully anyway. So yeah, so that's where I am now. The question is this role what I'm going to want to do for the rest of my life? At this moment, I don't know. I really enjoy my role at the moment, really enjoy studying for it and taking exams. I was actually, how can anyone be happy taking exams? But I'm actually studying, and it's just given me like this new kind of confidence, new purpose to pursue what I really want to pursue. And I have a lot of side interests as well. Like, as you know, after this YouTube channel, I have my blog. I'm just about to start doing nails, which I know goes back to like my first kind of roles when I did beauty. I enjoy doing nails, and I think it's just something that I would like to pursue just as like a side thing, like even it's just like a side hobby, I will go and do it. Yeah, and I am just content and happy with my current situation in my career. Obviously there's always room for improvement, and I will always try and look for new things to do, new things to gain interest in, and new things to work on. But yeah, that is currently my career story at the moment, and I've got a few years till I get to 39, and at 39 I hope to, like, as in what the article says, I'd hope to be in the position that I want. I don't know, I can't, nothing's ever the same. I mean, like, nothing just stands still, and nothing is ever promised. So it's just really just taking every day as it is, and taking every opportunity that you believe that you want to work on when it comes to you. And that is pretty much it. So that is the end of my story time video about my career. If you have any career tips or anything that you want to share in terms of your career and where you are in your life at the moment, leave a comment and let's have a chat about it, or you can tweet me or Instagram me. Either way, you'll be able to contact me somehow on Raining Cake. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope you enjoyed listening to that. And yeah, I will film more story times hopefully in the future when I think of something else to talk about. Please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you're new. But if you're already subscribed, then I will see you again soon in my next video. Bye guys. Hi guys, so I just wanted to hop on here and just talk a little bit about the video, about my career, because I realised that I didn't include some of the stuff that I did whilst I was working at Net-a-Porter for like 11 years. So I actually took on a part-time role as well as working full-time at Net-a-Porter, and because I used to do the 6:30 to 2:30 shift, like the morning to the afternoon, in the evenings I was quite free. So at some point, I think it was like the 4th or 5th year into my career at Net-a-Porter, I actually started working part-time for a beauty salon, which was in Wimbledon, which was really far away, but it was run by a lady called Chantel, and she was like just an amazing lady. She's South African, and she was just so nice. So I worked there for a few months, just part-time in the evenings. I think I did like 2 evenings and a weekend as a beauty therapist. So I just continued doing like my nails and massage and waxing and whatnot. The reason why I got back into it is because I felt like I studied it and didn't really use it, so I wanted to just try it out again, see if I liked it as much as I first did. I did, and I did really enjoy it, but then it got to the point where I just couldn't have 2 jobs anymore. Plus I got some hours changed at Net-a-Porter, so I couldn't really work anymore at the salon, so that was a sad time. And then in 2014 I actually took sabbatical leave from Net-a-Porter, took 3 months out, and I actually interned at some PR companies. I interned at Chalk PR, which was one of my favourites, and I love those girls so much. I also interned at Kilpatrick and also for Branch PR, so I did 3 months worth of interning at PR companies, and that just gave me a little insight into what it was like to work on a PR side of things. Through like blogging and stuff and YouTube, you never get to see the PR side of things, so I wanted to just explore that option. And as much as I liked it, again, it was one of those roles where I had to start from the beginning, and I wasn't prepared to do that at the time in my life, because I couldn't really take a lower wage, and I mean I could survive, but it would just mean that I wouldn't be able to save, and plus Dan and I were planning to get a house together, so I couldn't really take a pay cut. But yeah, that was also part of my career that I wanted to add in here that I didn't talk about when I was doing main video, so I just wanted to put that bit in.